One is encryption decryption program. In this program, we will have to perform three activities. First one is the substitution cipher. Second one is translation cipher, and third one virtual lab activity. So in that one, we need to perform the breaking of the shift cipher and the monoalphabetic cipher. This is the virtual lab activity by IIIT Hyderabad that we just want to perform. Let's see what we have to perform in that the substitution cipher. So what exactly the cipher? That is, the cipher is the text that we are getting it after that performing encryption on my plaintext. Now, what exactly that the plaintext, what exactly that the ciphertext, etc. We'll see just now. Now, in symmetric key cipher, what exactly that? How symmetric key cipher resembles to that substitution cipher? Let's consider that we just want to show it here. So symmetric key cipher. So in encryption decryption terminology, one is the sender, another one is the receiver. So here the Alice who receives that, who send the some kind of the text, that text we are calling it as a plain text. It will be working on my encryption algorithm. Some key is provided as input and we are getting the ciphertext. It is flowing through that insecure channel. And here we are getting ciphertext as an input to my decryption program at the receiver side, and ultimately we are getting the plain text back. So what is the key that is operated on this decryption algorithm, and what is the key that is operated on my encryption algorithm? If this key is same, then such kind of that the encryption is termed it as a symmetric key encryption. Let's proceed further. How exactly that we can be able to show it mathematically. So generally, capital P is used for my plain text, capital C is used for the ciphertext, K is used for the key, and this is the mathematical notation that we are considering it. E is my encryption algorithm that on key K it operates. We are taking as a parameter that is P is my plaintext and providing the C as a ciphertext. Exactly reverse to this, the C ciphertext as the input to my this particular decryption algorithm, which is operating on the same key that is K, and we are getting it that is P. So mathematically we can be able to show like this is the way. So here we are just showing how exactly my ciphertext and my uh, plaintext and the ciphertext inverse, how they can be able to same that we are showing it mathematically here. Then we are just switching to that the substitution cipher. Now what exactly that the substitution cipher, how we are considering it in the symmetric key cipher. A substitution cipher replaces one symbol with another symbol. Substitution cipher is categorized as the monoalphabetic cipher and polyalphabetic. Now, what exactly that the monoalphabetic cipher? So monoalphabetic substitution, a relationship between the symbol and the plain text to a symbol in the ciphertext is always 1-to-1. Now what does it mean by that respective one? Now suppose if my plain text is this yellow. Now here observe that two L are there. So these both the L's will be replaced, will be substituted by same symbols in my ciphertext. Then it is called as a monoalphabetic substitution. If in my plain text two same symbols are there and in my ciphertext the symbols are different, then we can say that it's a polyalphabetic cipher. Regarding polyalphabetic cipher, we will take it in theory later. So substitution cipher, in that one we can say that the additive or that the shift cipher. The simplest monoalphabetic cipher is the additive cipher. This cipher is sometimes called as a shift cipher and sometimes a Caesar cipher. But the term additive cipher better reveals its mathematical nature. In cryptography or in my encryption terminology, always we are representing the plain text in small case alphabets. Ciphertext we are always representing in the capital case, and we are considering there are symbols which are available with us, 26 different symbols, and we are giving it their values which is ranging from that 0 to that 25. So this is 0 for that A, 1 for that B, 2 for that C, and 25 for that Z. So these are the values that we are just considering. Why the values are required? Because we want to perform some kind of mathematical operations on it. We'll see what exactly the meaning of that Z26 later in the theory while performing it some mathematical operations. So how exactly my shift cipher or edit cipher works? So plaintext is the input that is provided to my encryption algorithm. So on this plaintext, we are adding what's the key that is provided. This is the key that is via the input, taking the mod of these two and taking it 26 because 26 number of symbols that we are considered. We are getting it ciphertext. Ciphertext fetches the input to my decryption algorithm. Here I'm just subtracting that the key from that ciphertext symbol and again taking the mod of that respective one because my 26 different symbols are there and getting it back the plaintext at the pop side. So how exactly it performs? Let's take the example for this. Suppose if I consider that the key is 15 and my message is hello, then how we can be able to perform? Now these are the hello is my plain text and corresponding to this is the values that we are obtained from this table. Likewise, H is 7, E is 4, L is 11. Like this, we are just mentioned here the values of my different symbols. So we operated what was 7 plus my key mod 26. We are getting it what was this. So like this is the way we obtained it for all and we got it. What so these are the different symbols. Now as this is the ciphertext, we are representing it by the capital K. So WTAAD is my ciphertext. How to decrypt, how to perform the decryption to this particular one. Again, this is my symbols, the values of that symbols to that respective one minus that the key mod 26, 22 minus 15 mod 26, it comes out to be 7 and like this is the way. Now 0 minus 15 mod 26, now it's a minus 15 mod 26. In that case, we need to perform, we need to subtract whatsoever that the 15 from that respective one, the 26, I'm getting it, that is 11. So this is comes out to be the 11. So like this is the way we have carried out the decryption. So in that decryption, we get it this value. The shift cipher is also as a shift Caesar cipher. Historically, the additive ciphers are called shift ciphers. Julius Caesar used an additive cipher to communicate with his officer. For this reason, additive ciphers are sometimes referred to as the Caesar cipher. Caesar used a key for his key of 3 for his communication. So here the shift, we can say that in Caesar cipher is comes out with the 3 always. So whenever the Caesar cipher is there, the addition is plus 3 minus 3. As we have just considered that is shifting of that respective one. So as it is a symbol, so it is also very easy to break. Now let's see how exactly that breaking of that shift cipher that is carried out. Now breaking of that cipher is termed as the crypt analysis. We'll see what are different ways for the crypt analysis in theory later in our theory lecture. So suppose if I got it, what so this is my ciphertext, and if I applied some kind of that key will be ranging from like 1 to that 7. So if I apply that a key 1 and minus to that respective one, I tried up to that 7 and at the 7 when the key is reaches, I'm getting it such kind of that some meaningful message, is it? Which makes sense. So not very secure. So we can be able to break this shift cipher and this is the activity that we need to perform while performing the activity on that virtual lab. Next activity, that is the transposition cipher. Transposition cipher does not substitute one symbol for another. Instead, it changes the location of the symbols. So transposition means transfer positions, changing the positions. That's it. Is it? So it can be carried out by the keyless way, keyless transposition, key transposition, and combining these two that we just want to consider. Let's take one by one the examples for this and how exactly we can be able to carry out. So simplest way for that a keyless transposition is my relevance cipher. Now what exactly that the relevance cipher? We'll see that suppose if my message is meet me at the park, I will write it in terms of the relevance. So meet me in one step that I'm giving it. So like this, I'll just write it, this particular one. And while collecting the ciphertext, I'm collecting it as my row, that is first row, and the second row. So if I collect it, I'm getting it. This is my ciphertext. So this is the way there is a key list because here I'm just no key that is used and I'm just shuffling the position like this is the way. So rel fence. Another one, we can say that a columnar or the row transpositions. So how exactly that we just want to take. So Alice and Bob agree on the number of columns and use second method. So Alice writes the same plain text row by row. So Alice writes specified number of columns, the row by row. So he considered that is the number of columns for that of 4. So meet me at the park. So like this. And the Alice will collect what's so this particular one, that is the meet first column, second column, third column, like this, and getting it this. So again, here there is no key, that is we are used. That's why just by collecting the respective column and I'm getting it that the key, that the ciphertext. So this is the way the transposition is concerned. So in my transposition cipher, whatsoever my the symbol which are involved in my plain text, the same set of involves, same set of symbols in my ciphertext. So in keyless transpositions, we can say that we can be able to show that position changing. So 1 to that 1, second to that the 5, third will be moving to that 9, fourth is moving to that the 13. Like this is the way we are just providing it. So if I consider what so this particular example, in that one, if I consider that is a pattern 4 4 4. So if I consider 1493, so difference is comes out to the 4, maybe in one of the example that is considered. Now, how exactly we can be able to perform the key transposition? Previous to that we are considered, that is as far as length phase or that the columnar transposition is concerned, that is the keyless transposition. Now, let's take it the key transposition. How I can be able to apply that is the key. Now, suppose if I provided there is a key to my transposition is 31452, is it? Now I considered that is a 5 different symbols are there, so I carry out the blocks of my 5555 symbols in my plain text and apply what's for this key. So what does it mean? That is third is going to that the first is going at the second, is it? So so third is going at my first, then first is going at the second, fourth is going at my third, so fourth is going at the third, fifth is going at my fourth, fifth is going at fourth, and second is going at my fifth. So like this is the way we can be able to consider this is the key, and we can be able to obtain whatsoever my permutations by using this key. And this key is also termed as my permutation box. We'll see later that will be required the permutation boxes in my modern symmetric cycle. Let's combine these two approach, that is the key transposition and also that columnar transposition that we are considered, that is the keyless transposition. So first of all, I'm applying what for this transposition, keyless transposition. Enemy attacks tonight that we have just considered. And I'm just applying some kind of fictitious character. You may consider what exactly that is it. The fictitious character I added here. So I return with that the 5 columns, enemy attacks tonight, and I considered the key for this while collecting, that is a 31452. So the third will be the first, that is third column will be that the first column will be that the second, fourth column will be that the third. So like this is the way we are collecting it, and my ciphertext will be this. Now if I apply reverse way, is it? If it is going what's the first to that the third, second to that the first, exactly reverse to this, second to that the first. So I'm getting it what was this my, and if I'm reading row by row, I'm getting it what was this my plain text back. So this is my transposition cipher. So you have to perform the transposition cipher either by that the first approach, second approach, or the combining these two approaches. But you have to perform encryption by using transposition, and also you need to perform that is a decryption. So this is the second activity. Third activity, okay, before going for the third, combining these two approaches, how I can be able to carry out, suppose if this is the encryption key is given, and how we can be able to obtain it, what's so my, this, the decryption key is there. So 31452, that is the encryption key is there, is it? So 3 is going at the first, is it? First is going at the second, then fourth is going at the third, fifth is going at the fourth, and second is going at fifth, is it? Now, as far as when we are just carrying out decryption is concerned, that differently. Is it? So here the second is going at the first, then fifth is going at the second, then first is going at the third, then third is going at the fourth, and fourth is going at fifth. So like this is the way we can be able to get it this the key. So you need to write that algorithm how exactly that if my transposition key is given in question, then how we can be able to carry out the decryption key for that reverse transposition. So for that one, we need to write the program. Then the third activity that we need to perform is nothing but the IT Triple ID Hyderabad lab. Let's switch to that respective one. Let me open that respective tab. So here several labs are provided. So out of that, we just want to perform the laboratory for uh, monoalphabetic cipher, breaking of that respective one, and breaking of the shift cipher. So these are the two labs that we just want to perform. Here, exactly, if I'm clicking here, I'm getting it. The theory, introduction, theory, objectives, manual, experiment. So we need to read out this entire article and we have to perform this. And another one that we just want to perform is the breaking of that monoalphabetic code. So this is the two, these are the two experiments we want to perform for the crypt analysis part. So as far as the first experiment is concerned, we have to carry out in the two practical slots. So today you can perform the practicals for encryption, decryption, substitution cipher, and the transposition cipher. And next week we can be able to perform that is a fifth, this virtual labs by Triple ID Hyderabad. That's it from my side. Thanks.